Stop what you are doing right now. We have just secured a radioactive inside leak from the Netflix production trucks that reveals the WWE as we know it has officially entered a state of absolute anarchy. What happened on the May 12, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw wasn't just a main event. It was a seismic shift in the power structure of professional wrestling that has left the board of directors in a state of total panic. We are talking about the night the unthinkable happened. Women's World Champion Io Sky and the Eradicator Rhea Ripley, two women who have spent years trying to destroy each other, formed an unholy alliance to defend the main roster from the invading forces of NXT's Roxanne Perez and the beautiful madman Giulia. But here is the bombshell revelation that the corporate office tried to scrub. We've obtained a leaked audio clip from the gorilla position where a high-level official is heard screaming, "This wasn't the finish. They're shooting." The internet is in a state of total meltdown as #TheInvaders trended globally in under 3 minutes. Fans are uncovering secret recordings from the front row showing Giulia speaking in Japanese to Io Sky mid-match, a secret message that allegedly changed the entire trajectory of the fight. Was this a double-cross by the NXT superstars, or was Rhea Ripley being led into a corporate trap designed to strip her of her status? The social media landscape is a war zone, with #MommyAndTheGenius trending as fans analyze the moment Rhea and Io shared a look that felt like a blood pact against the entire company. This is the most explosive celebrity news story of the year, involving leaked medical reports, backstage brawls, and a betrayal that will haunt the locker room forever. If you think you know who won, you haven't heard the secret that was whispered after the cameras cut to black. The energy inside the arena on May 12, 2025, wasn't just loud, it was violent. According to insider leaks from the Netflix production crew, the tension backstage had reached a boiling point hours before the cameras even started rolling. We have obtained a leaked internal memo that suggests Rhea Ripley and Io Sky were never supposed to be on the same side of the ring. The original plan, according to these secret documents, was for a standard title defense, but a backstage mutiny led by the NXT invading force of Roxanne Perez and Giulia forced the hand of the Raw general manager. This wasn't a match. It was a desperate attempt to maintain order in a company that is rapidly losing control of its talent. The bombshell revelation that is currently shattering the internet involves a secret recording captured in the makeup trailer. In the audio, a voice that sounds suspiciously like Roxanne Perez is heard saying, "They think they own the throne, but we're here to burn the castle down." The social media chaos erupted the second that clip hit TikTok, with #NXTTakeoverRAW trending globally. Fans are calling it the Generation War, but insider gossip suggests it's much more personal. Roxanne and Giulia didn't just walk into Raw, they invaded it like a tactical unit, and the secret footage from the parking lot shows them arriving in a blacked-out SUV that isn't registered to WWE. Who is funding this invasion? That is the question that has the board of directors hyperventilating in their Stamford offices. As the match began, the visual of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley standing side by side was a cinematic shock that sent the live crowd into a delirium. These are two women with a history of blood feuds and explosive confrontations, now forced to protect the sovereignty of the main roster. But according to leaked production notes, the trust between them was non-existent. Frame-by-frame analysis of their entrance shows Rhea Ripley whispering something to Io that made the genius of the Sky visibly flinch. Was it a threat? Or was it a secret pact to ensure they both walked out with their careers intact? The celebrity reactions started pouring in immediately, with stars like Snoop Dogg and Megan Thee Stallion tweeting their disbelief at this power duo. Then, the beast from the East, Giulia, made her presence felt. The atmosphere changed the moment her music hit. Insiders claim that Giulia's contract has a special clause that allows her to ignore standard WWE safety protocols, a revelation that has led to a legal meltdown within the company's insurance department. The way she stared down Io Sky wasn't just a challenge, it was an identity war. Leaked messages from the NXT locker room suggest that Giulia and Io have a hidden history from their days in Japan that goes far beyond the ring, a secret betrayal that involves a high-ranking official in the Japanese wrestling scene. The drama was so thick you could feel it through the screen. The physical brutality of the match started at a level 10 and stayed there. Roxanne Perez, once the prodigy, now looked like a cold-blooded assassin. She wasn't just hitting moves, she was targeting Rhea Ripley's previously injured shoulder with a surgical precision that screamed inside information. This leads to a shocking twist. Did someone on the Raw medical staff leak Rhea's private health records to the NXT invaders? The Twitter war between the medical team and the fans has turned into a PR nightmare for the company. Every time Roxanne twisted Rhea's arm, the crowd let out a collective gasp of real-life horror. This didn't look like a choreographed dance, it looked like a celebrity assault. Midway through the first segment of this collision, a secret recording from the ringside area captured Iyo Sky screaming in Japanese at Giulia. We've had the audio translated by professional linguists, and the results are earth-shattering. Iyo wasn't just trash-talking, she was warning Giulia to stay away from the deal. What deal? Is there a secret merger happening behind the scenes that involves a rival promotion? The cinematic gossip world is on fire with theories that this match was actually a live audition for a new global wrestling conglomerate. The emotional breakdown occurred when Rhea Ripley, frustrated by the lack of cooperation from Iyo, accidentally struck her own partner during a chaotic scuffle. The look of pure betrayal on Iyo's face was a bombshell moment that was captured by every camera in the building. Social media went into a nuclear meltdown with the hashtag #IYovsRhea trending within seconds. Was this the corporate sabotage the McMahons were hoping for? Or was it a spontaneous explosion of ego? The insider leaks suggest that Rhea and Iyo had a physical altercation in the gorilla position just minutes before the match, and the explosive drama was now spilling over into the live broadcast. As the violence escalated, the referee appeared to lose all control. A hot mic caught the ref frantically pleading with the production truck, "They aren't listening to the count. Someone get out here." But no one came. The corporate office was allegedly ordered to stay back and let the natural selection take its course. This was a public execution of the rules. Giulia used a stiff headbutt on Iyo Sky that left a visible, sensationalized welt on her forehead, a move that many are calling illegal and unsanctioned. The celebrity meltdown intensified as female legends like Trish Stratus and Lita began tweeting their concern for the safety of the performers. The social media chaos reached a new level when a leaked video from the NXT training center surfaced online during the match. The video showed Roxanne and Giulia training with a mystery mentor whose face was blurred out, but the tattoos on their arms were unmistakably those of a former WWE World Champion who was fired years ago. The betrayal was now coming from outside the house. Was this a revenge plot years in the making? The bombshell revelations were dropping faster than the wrestlers could hit the mat. In a moment of total anarchy, Rhea Ripley grabbed a steel chair from ringside. But she didn't hit the invaders. She stared at it, then at Iyo, then at the corporate suite where the executives were watching. It was a cinematic standoff that felt like it lasted a lifetime. The insider gossip claims that Rhea was supposed to use the chair on Roxanne, but she was changing the script in real time. The tension was so high that a fan in the front row reportedly fainted, causing a brief pause in the social media stream. The final twist of this first section happened when the arena's lighting system suddenly malfunctioned, bathing the ring in a haunting blood-red glow. This wasn't part of anyone's entrance. A secret memo from the tech crew suggests that the system was remote hacked by an external source. As the lights flickered, a symbol appeared on the Titantron that no one recognized, a secret sigil that many believe belongs to a new, underground faction. Just as Iyo Sky prepared for her signature moonsault, the invaders did something that left the world in jaw-dropping shock. They didn't move out of the way. They stood their ground and pointed toward the entrance ramp. The camera panned up, and for a split second, a bombshell revelation was revealed. A third NXT superstar was standing there, holding Rhea Ripley's secret contract in her hand. The screen flickered, the audio distorted into a screeching, emotional breakdown of white noise, and the last thing we saw was Rhea Ripley's face turning a ghostly shade of white as she realized her private secrets were about to be broadcast to the entire world. The cliffhanger has left the internet screaming, "What is in the contract, and who is the third invader?" The stadium lights didn't just flicker, they bled into a deep, strobe-like crimson that signaled a total security breach. As Rhea Ripley stood frozen in the center of the ring, staring at the hooded figure on the ramp, the social media meltdown reached a level of pure insanity. We have just received a leaked technical log from the Netflix control room that confirms the broadcast was being hijacked from an external server based in Tokyo. The figure on the ramp wasn't just a distraction, she was the nuclear option. When she raised that document, Rhea's secret contract, the board of directors in Stamford reportedly went into a total lockdown. The bombshell revelation that is currently tearing through Reddit is that Rhea Ripley's contract contains a void on contact clause. According to insider leaks, if a certain person from Rhea's past ever stepped foot on the Raw roster, her title and her career would be legally terminated. And that figure on the ramp? The cinematic gossip world is screaming the name, Mina Shirakawa. If the rumors are true, the Invaders didn't just come for a match. They came to serve an eviction notice on Mommy herself. The Twitter war is peaking with hashtag #RheaExposed, as fans analyze the leaked messages between Giulia and the mystery figure that suggest this takeover has been in the works for 18 months. Back in the ring, the explosive confrontation took a turn for the surreal. Iyo Sky, seeing Rhea's distraction, didn't help her partner. Instead, she stepped back and shared a look with Giulia that can only be described as a silent betrayal. A hot mic near the turnbuckle caught Iyo whispering in Japanese, "It's time to tell them the truth." What truth? Is Iyo Sky the real leader of this NXT invasion? The sensationalized theories are flying that Iyo has been a double agent all along, sent to the main roster to weaken it from the inside so the new blood could take over. The emotional breakdown of the fans in the arena was audible. Thousands of people realizing that the genius of the Sky might be the ultimate villain of this story. Roxanne Perez took advantage of the chaos, delivering a pop rocks to Rhea Ripley that looked devastatingly real. Rhea's head bounced off the mat, and insider gossip from the ringside physicians claims she suffered a grade 2 concussion in that moment. But did the ref stop the match? No. The secret instructions from the production truck were clear: let it bleed. This was a corporate hit, happening in front of millions. Celebrities like Cardi B and Pete Davidson were seen in the VIP boxes looking visibly distressed, with one secret recording showing Cardi B screaming at a security guard to go in there and help her. The social media chaos intensified when a leaked video from a fan's phone showed a physical altercation happening at the announcer's desk. Michael Cole's headset was reportedly ripped off by a member of the NXT security detail, effectively silencing the official narrative of the match. From that point on, it was pure cinematic anarchy. The Invaders began to systematically dismantle the ring, pulling up the canvas to reveal the cold, hard wood underneath. This was a symbolic destruction of the Raw brand. The bombshell revelation here is that this was a live ritual to signify the death of the old guard. Giulia then did something that caused a global meltdown. She grabbed the women's world title from the timekeeper's area and threw it into a trash can she had brought from under the ring. The Twitter meltdown was instantaneous. Hashtag disrespect the belt trended #1 worldwide. But according to a secret memo leaked by a disgruntled intern, the belt Giulia threw away was a prop. The real belt had been stolen from Rhea's locker room 3 hours before the show started. Where is the real gold? And who has the power to steal a world title from under the nose of the Eradicator? The explosive drama shifted back to the ramp as the mystery figure began to walk slowly toward the ring. As she got closer, the leaked high-def footage finally revealed her face. It wasn't just a wrestler, it was a celebrity ghost from Rhea's pre-WWE days in the Indies, a woman Rhea reportedly blacklisted from the industry years ago. The betrayal was coming full circle. This was vengeance in its purest, most sensationalized form. The insider leaks claim that this woman has a secret recording of Rhea Ripley admitting to a massive corporate cover-up involving a backstage incident from 2021. If that recording plays, Rhea Ripley won't just lose her job, she could face legal charges. In a shocking twist, Iyo Sky suddenly turned on Giulia and Roxanne, clearing the ring with a series of high-flying maneuvers. Was she a triple agent? Or was she just playing everyone for her own gain? The social media meltdown was a frenzy of confusion. Fans didn't know who to cheer for. The cinematic gossip suggests that Iyo realized if Rhea went down now, the Invaders would turn on her next. It was a survival alliance of the most explosive kind. But Rhea Ripley wasn't grateful. She stood up, her face covered in sweat and scripted blood, and shoved Iyo Sky into the corner. The emotional breakdown was total. The two partners were now screaming at each other while the Invaders laughed from the outside. Suddenly, the arena's internal communication system was hacked again. A voice boomed over the speakers, a voice that sounded like a distorted AI version of a former WWE chairman. The voice said, "The contract on the ramp is a forgery. The real contract is in the ring." Everyone stopped. The invaders, Rhea Ripley, they all looked down at the mat. There, tucked into the corner of the turnbuckle, was a small black envelope. The bombshell revelation was that the entire match had been a decoy to get everyone into the ring for a mass execution of their contracts. The social media chaos hit a fever pitch as fans began to realize this was a corporate reset. The insider gossip suggests that the board of directors wanted to fire all 4 women to save on budget cuts and start a new, cheaper division. This was the ultimate betrayal by the company itself. The celebrity reactions turned into a celebrity protest, with several stars leaving the arena in disgust. But the explosive drama wasn't over. Rhea Ripley grabbed the black envelope, but before she could open it, Roxanne Perez delivered a flying crossbody that sent them both crashing through the announcer's table. The cinematic violence was at an all-time high. Paramedics finally swarmed the area, but the invaders fought them off. This was a locker room riot. The leaked audio from the production truck captures the director screaming, "We're going to black. Cut the feed." But the hacker wouldn't let them. The world was forced to watch as the beautiful madman Giulia stood on top of the broken table, holding the black envelope over a lighter she had pulled from her pocket. The social media meltdown was a scream of, "Don't do it." As the flame touched the corner of the envelope, a shocking revelation appeared on the Titantron. It was a live feed from the WWE headquarters in Connecticut, showing the corporate safe being emptied by a mystery man in a mask. The betrayal was nationwide. While everyone was focused on the drama in the ring, the real assets were being stolen from the company. The cliffhanger was a heartstopper. Is the person in the mask the real mastermind behind the NXT invasion? And as Giulia dropped the burning envelope onto the floor, Rhea Ripley let out a blood-curdling scream of pure, emotional breakdown despair. The screen flickered to a static error message, leaving the world asking, is everyone's career literally going up in flames? The screen didn't just cut to black, it felt like the entire WWE universe had been plunged into a digital abyss. As the social media meltdown hit a fever pitch, with hashtag burning contract and hashtag Rhea is finished shattering every analytics record on the planet, insider leaks began to leak out of the Netflix headquarters like a toxic spill. We have obtained the Twitter war is currently a bloodbath, with hashtag RestoreMommy trending as fans post leaked documents showing that IYO Sky had signed a cooperation agreement with the invaders weeks ago in exchange for a permanent seat at the corporate table. Back at the arena, the explosive confrontations had turned into a scene from a war movie. The insider gossip from the locker room suggests that the female talent was in a state of total emotional breakdown, realizing that their contracts were likely next on the burning block. A secret recording of a top star in the hallway captures her sobbing, "We're just numbers to them. They're burning us alive for the tax write-off." This was the meltdown of the modern era. The sensationalized reality was that the invaders were the only ones who knew the truth, and they were laughing as the main roster crumbled. But the final twist was the most jaw-dropping of all. As Rhea Ripley pulled herself up from the wreckage of the announcer's table, her face a mask of pure vengeance, she didn't look at the invaders. She looked at IYO Sky. In a shocking revelation, caught by a fan's high-powered zoom lens, IYO was holding a secret keycard, the same one needed to access the server room in Stamford. The betrayal was a circle. IYO hadn't joined the invaders to help them. She had joined them to steal the master key from them. The cinematic drama reached a boiling point as IYO suddenly handed the card to Rhea. The social media meltdown turned into a roar of triple cross. The explosive drama shifted to a live feed on the Titantron that the mystery man didn't see coming. It was Rhea Ripley's own secret recording, filmed months ago in a private meeting with a rival global sports agency. "If they try to burn me," Rhea's voice echoed through the arena, "I'll take the whole kingdom with me." The bombshell revelation. Rhea had a dead man switch on the company's stock. If her contract was ever burned, a leaked document would be released to the SEC proving massive financial sabotage by the board. The corporate meltdown was now a legal death sentence. The social media chaos hit its absolute zenith as the WWE stock price plummeted on the live ticker. Fans were recording their screens as the mystery man in Stamford realized he had been played. The invaders, Roxanne Perez and Giulia, looked at each other in pure terror. They weren't the ones in control. They were the distraction that allowed Rhea and IYO to trap the corporate office in a legal cage. The celebrity reactions were a frenzy, with major tech moguls tweeting, "Ripley just bought the company for pennies." The sensationalized power shift was complete. In the final cinematic seconds of the broadcast, the four women, Rhea, IYO, Roxanne, and Giulia, stood in the four corners of the ring. They weren't fighting anymore. They were looking at the corporate box with a look of primal dominance. The insider leaks suggest that they have formed a new sovereign faction that answers to no one. The emotional breakdown of the fans turned into a revolutionary anthem. They weren't just superstars, they were the new board of directors. The final bombshell. As the static error message began to fade back into the Netflix logo, a secret audio clip played for only 3 seconds. It was the voice of the mystery man in the vault, now sounding defeated. "You don't understand. The person behind the mask isn't the one you should fear. Look at the shadows." The screen flashed one last image, a leaked photo of a blacked-out office in Japan where a secret mastermind was watching the whole thing unfold with a smile. The cliffhanger has left the world